Everybody, welcome in. It is so glad. I am so glad to see so many of you, so many familiar faces. Thank you so much for letting me be a part of your afternoon. Guys, I've got a really fun project for you guys today. I don't want you to be intimidated by this one. I know by the looks of it, it looks to be sort of like an intermediate style project, and I'm not going to lie and say that it's not, but I do think that even those of you who are beginners are going to be able to get something from this class. So please don't be intimidated. Let's get right into it. We're going to talk materials, we're going to talk beads, and then we are going to get right into the process because it is going to take just a little bit of time to do this. So I don't think we're going to be here longer than normal, but I do know that this is going to take a little bit more time than some of my faster projects. So I want to show you, give you a couple of little sample ideas here so you can see what it is that we're doing. We're going to be creating a sunburst pendant. And we're going to be doing this with some German style wire. And I'm actually using a combination of gold and silver, though you can use, all gold if you wanted to, or all silver if you wanted to do that. We're going to create this outer edge first with all of like the sunbursts, these little rays that are coming off of the pendant. We're going to do that first. And I'm going to show you how to do that. And then I'm going to show you how to add this to the bead. Now the bead, let me show you the strand because I think this is such a neat strand of beads. So I pulled these off of this strand that had a lot of other really beautiful beads on it. So if you wanted to create this pendant and then take some of the beads from the rest of the strand to create like a whole necklace out of this instead of just doing just the pendant, you really could get super creative. This strand I thought was so pretty with these coin Czech glass beads. There are some half moon beads in here, some other textured coin beads, as well as the little flowers and the fire polish rounds. I thought it was such a pretty, excuse me, such a pretty mix of beads and a really cool focal. So I picked out one of the larger ones. However, if you wanted to do this on the smaller bead, you absolutely could. So if you wanted to like take this project, learn how to do the pendant and make a pair of matching earrings and use the smaller beads that were on the strand to make matching earrings with, you absolutely can do that. So just kind of giving you an idea, but I wanted you to see that strand because I thought it was so pretty. All right, so I'm going to take one of those beads and I don't need it at the moment, but let's just take a look at it. So what we're going to be creating, other than the little spokes, if you want to call them that, or the rays or whatever, we're actually going to be doing a very condensed version of herringbone in the way that we wire wrap this. And so I wanted to point out that when you're shopping for beads, maybe you don't particularly care for this bead. Maybe you want to look for something else from Michael's to use as your bead. What you want to try to find is something that's got a nice little edge to it. It doesn't have to be a huge edge, but it is helpful when we go to do the wire wrap around the edge of the bead, that there is something that it can actually sit up against. So if you don't love this one, just try to find something else that's got a nice little edge surface area there. Okay. All right, so we are going to get started with the wire weave part of this. You're going to need 5 pieces of 18 gauge wire that are about 5 inches long each. Okay, and these can actually be scrap pieces because these are not actually going to be part of the project, but you do want to be sure that you've got at least 5 inches to create your weave with. Okay. And they don't even have to be gold colored because, like I said, they're not going to be part of the project. So if you've got silver instead, that's great. Okay. All right. Then you're going to need 40 inches of 24 gauge wire to do the weaving with. Okay. And I'm going to break this down for you as easy as I possibly can. Okay. And we'll go slow and then we will speed up about halfway through because we're going to do about, I'm going to say, I think it's 10, but I think I've decided that I'm going to do 11 sections of the little weave. So get ready. Like I said, it's going to take a minute to do this one, but I think that the repetition is really good practice. So we're going to take one of those pieces of 18 gauge wire, and we're going to take our 40-inch piece of 24 gauge wire. And we're going to anchor this wire to, or the weaving wire, which is our 24 gauge wire, to the 18 gauge wire with about 4 or 5 wire wraps. And you want those wire wraps to be as tidy as possible. So you can use your pliers if you need to, or your fingers to push those wraps together to make those as neat as you can get them, okay? All right, and we are always working in a clockwise direction, so keep that in mind. Also want to be about 1 inch from the end. Now, I will tell you that the wires are going to slip and slide. The weaving that we do is going to slip and slide over these 18 gauge wires. That's okay. That's actually what we need because we're actually going to be removing these wires at the end. So it's necessary, but it can be a little bit tricky when you're trying to hold everything all together. Okay, so now we're going to bring in 1 wire at a time because we've got 5 wires total. Okay, so with the wire in that clockwise direction, you can see now it's coming from underneath and it's wrapping up. It's kind of going away from me. I'm going to bring in wire number 2. And I like to count my wires. I label them with the numbers starting at the bottom. So the bottom wire is 1. The next wire up is going to be 2, going all the way up to the top, okay? So I'm going to bring in wire number 2, and I'm going to set it right next to the first wire. And I'm going to take my 24 gauge wire, and I'm going to wrap around just that wire, just that second wire. And I'm going to actually come out here to the edge to do that. And then kind of pull the wire in, okay? And then take the wire up and away from me, right? So I'm just wrapping around just that second wire. I'm going to bring in wire number 3. Place that directly above wire number 2. Same thing. I'm going to wrap just around wire number 3. And I do that out here to the edge, bring the wire in, take it up. Okay. Now I'm going to bring in wire number 4, same thing. So I'm just holding those wires with my fingers, and then I'm going to wrap around wire number 4. Bring the wire out here to the edge, bring it in, and go up. Okay, and you can see this is what we've got. So each wire that I bring in, I'm just wrapping around that wire 1 time to connect all these wires to each other. Okay. Okay, now when I bring in the 5th wire, this is where we're actually going to start to come down. So when I bring in the 5th wire, bring that in, and you are going to go up and over that 5th wire, but now you're going to come down the back. And what we want, let me lower this down a little bit so I can get, what we want is to mirror what we've done on this side over here on this side, but instead of going upwards, we're coming down. So what we have to do is we have to figure out, okay, so the next wire is going to be this wire, but over here, right? So it's going to look just like this one, but I need it to happen here. How do I make that happen? Well, in order to make that happen, you can see this wire is actually going upwards between not 1, not 2, but 2 and 3, right? So it's right here, it's going upwards. So what I need to do is I need to bring my wire to this spot so that I can go upwards. So I'm actually going to bring this wire to me between wires 2 and 3. Now don't worry. I know this might seem a little confusing here in the beginning, but I promise it will make sense. So I'm going to bring the wire out to me, right? And that way now I can go up wires 3 and 4. It's just a matter of knowing where to bring the wire out towards you so that you can go back up, right? So in order to come down, we kind of have to go up. It's like we're taking 2 steps forward and a step back. It really kind of has that funny little, that funny feeling to it where it's like you feel like you're going backwards, but you're really not. You really are progressing. Okay, now the same thing here. We have to now make the next wire, which is this one right here, over here on this side. And you can see this wire is going up the front of wires 2 and 3. In order to get in position to go up the front of 2 and 3, you have to bring that wire to you between 1 and 2. So you're going to take that wire and you are going to bring it out to you between 1 and 2 so that you can go up the front of 2 and 3. Bring the wire down. Okay. Now the next wire is up the front of 1 and 2. So in order to get up the front of 1 and 2, we have to come out underneath wire number 1 so that we can go up 1 and 2. So that's exactly what we're going to do. And squish all of that over, and that's what you got. Okay, now don't worry if that was kind of weird, because we're going to do this 10 more times. So you're going to get to see this 10 more times, right? So it's okay if it didn't make sense that first go around. I'm going to go nice and slow, at least halfway through this. Okay. All right. Now I also like to use my flat nose pliers for this. I will use my fingernails and my pliers to push the wire from both sides. And then you can also just very gently kind of chomp down on top of the weave as well, just to tidy everything up. Okay. All right. Now on this bottom wire, which we call wire number 1, we're actually going to wrap around that wire 5 or 6 times. Okay. That's going to give us a little space between each one of these little weaving sections. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And for my 6th move, that's actually going to be the first step in my next little weaving section. So I'm going to do 5, and that 6th step is going to be my next step up. Okay. So again, that just kind of creates some space in between there. All right, so now we're ready to go with our pattern again. Now, I know I mentioned this previously, but I'm going to mention it again, particularly for those of you who have never done any kind of wire weaving before. A lot of people get intimidated by this. I don't want you to be. I want you to look at this as a challenge, of course, but something that is 100% doable, and it doesn't need to be intimidating. So for me, I like to bring the wire out to the edge. This is really easy when you've got short pieces of wire here. We've got 5-inch pieces of wire. Now, when these wires are 12, 24 inches long, that's a little bit harder to do. But for a project like this, where we're working with a relatively short amount of wire, bringing the wire out here to the edges to actually bring the wires between is so much easier than taking the very tip of your wire and trying to go through like this each time you want to make a move. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Now, there are times where you do need to do that, but for this project, we don't. We can do everything that we need to do out here to the edge and then just kind of pull it back into place. Okay, so now we're ready to start our pattern again. So we're going to go up to wire number 2, and we're going to wrap around just wire number 2. So I'm taking the wire, I'm going between wires 2 and 3 out here on the edge, right? But I'm wrapping around that wire, and I'm doing that out here, bringing that in, and then taking the wire away from me to make that complete wrap. Now I'm going to wrap around wire number 3, just wire number 3. So same thing. Whoops. Okay. Going up to wire number 4, and I'm going to wrap around just wire number 4. And in the beginning, your first few sets of these is kind of tricky because your wires out here on the edges are going to want to kind of crisscross and act all crazy on you. But okay, and then we're going up the front of wire number 5, but now we have to come down the back so that we can do this come down and go up, come down and go up. All right, so we've gone all the way up. Now we need to make our way down. So we're going to bring the wire to us between wires 2 and 3 so that we can go up 3 and 4. Apologize for the barking in the background. It's even louder if they're in the room. They're not in the room. So, okay, now coming down the back, bringing the wire to us between 1 and 2 so that we can go up the front of 2 and 3. Okay, taking that between those down the back. Now we need to go up 1 and 2. And just trying to separate these wires out. Okay. And then squish everything over. Okay. And then you're going to do 5 or 6 wraps around wire number 1. Okay. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Squish all that over. Now, remember, I told you these wires are going to kind of slip slide on you, and that's okay. You just don't want to accidentally slip them out before we've done all of the little sections that we need to do. But just know that the movement of these 18 gauge wires is completely normal. So if you feel those moving around, that's okay. It doesn't mean you've done anything wrong or that your wraps are not tight enough. That's just kind of the way that this works. And we need those to be, we need them to slip slide around so that we can pull these wires out later, but hold them all in place as best as you can as you're going. You can also use a piece of painter's tape if you want to wrap around these wires. That will kind of help to hold everything in place if it feels a little awkward to you. The more you practice this, the easier it is to hold this many wires at one time. Okay, so now clockwise always. So we're going up the front of wires 1 and 2 to wrap around just wire number 2. We're going up the front of wire number 3, and we're going to wrap around just wire, number 3. Always tend to pull too hard. Okay, we're going up to wire number 4, and we're going to wrap around just wire number 4. And then we're going up the front of wire number 5, and we're going to make our way down the back. Okay, making our way down the back, bringing the wire to us between wires 2 and 3 means that now we're in position to go up the front of 3 and 4. Okay, bringing the wire to us between wires 1 and 2 puts us in position to go up the front of 2 and 3. Okay, bringing the wire to us from the bottom puts us in position to go up the front of 1 and 2. Squish all that over with your fingers or your pliers, and then you're going to wrap around wire number 1 about 5 or 6 times. Okay. And then anytime you want to, you can come in with those pliers. Flatten everything down, just tidy everything up a little bit. You're not going to hurt the wire, so don't feel like you're going to mess it up if you come in with the pliers to squish on it. It's totally fine. Okay. All right. We're ready to keep going. We're just going to keep repeating this pattern. So like I said, lots of good practice here because we are just repeating the same thing. We've done 3 of these. We need to do several more. So let's keep going. Okay. We're going to go up the front of 1 and 2, wrapping around wire number 2. Okay. Up the front of 2 and 3 to wrap around wire number 3. Up the front of 3 and 4 to wrap around wire number 4. Up the front of 4 and 5, and then we're bending that wire so it is coming down the back. Bring the wire to you between wires 2 and 3 so that you're in position to go up the front of 3 and 4. Okay. Down the back, bring the wire to you between 1 and 2 so that you can go up the front of 2 and 3. Down the back, bring the wire to you, and you are in position to go up the front of 1 and 2. And go slow. There's no reason to go fast with this, right? Not at all. You don't need to be super speedy with this. Take your time. Pay attention to what you're doing. And I am going to show you the back of this because there's a clear front and a clear back. But let's go ahead and wrap around wire number 1 5 times, and then we'll take a look at the back. So when you're learning to wire weave, sometimes you will do weaves where the front and the back look exactly the same. Those are so lucky because you don't have to worry about which side you've got front facing. But for the most part, you're going to find that most weaves have a clear front and a clear back. This is what we are going for, right? Each one of them looks like little pine trees almost, right? When you turn this over on the back, it doesn't look nearly as clean. It does have an interesting look to it, and this could be the front if you really like the way that this looks, but it is most definitely different. And you can see it's because where we have come down, we've had to make these like long strokes between 2 wires. So you are seeing all of that on the back. So just so you know, this one has a clear front and a clear back. Okay, but sometimes it also helps to see the back to make sure that you're doing it the right way. So, okay, now we are going to keep going here because we've done 4. We need to do a bunch more. And I'm going to do 1 or 2 more slowly. And then the rest of these, I'm going to speed up so that we can get through this because we've got a whole pendant to make. So, all right, I'm going up the front of 1 and 2 to wrap around wire number 2. I'm going up the front of 2 and 3 to wrap around wire number 3, up the front of 3 and 4 to wrap around wire number 4, oops, up the front of 4 and 5 to come down the back. Okay. All right, now bring the wire to you between wires 2 and 3 so that you are in position to go up the front of 3 and 4. Bring the wire to you between 1 and 2 so you're in position to go up the front of 2 and 3. Bring the wire to you from the bottom so that you can go up the front of 1 and 2. Squish it all over. Okay, and then you're going to wrap around wire number 1 about 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, squish all of that over. Going up again, up the front of 1 and 2, around wire number 2. Up the front of 2 and 3, around wire number 3. Up 3 and 4, around wire number 4. Up 4 and 5, and then coming down the back. bring the wire to you between 2 and 3 to go up 3 and 4. Bring the wire to you between 1 and 2 and go up 2 and 3. Bring the wire to you from the bottom so you can go up 1 and 2. And then you're just going to wrap around wire number 1. Now, for those of you who are going to try this project out, number 1, I'm really excited that you're going to try this out. Number 2, do not forget that you can watch this as a video on demand over on YouTube. What makes that so wonderful is that when you actually get in here and you start doing the project, you can stop and start as many times as you want to, right? You can rewind, you can fast forward, you can do all of those things, and you can pause and you can go at your own pace, which makes this a whole lot easier. If you're trying to work right along with me, you may find that I'm going faster than you can go. But you will see that if you watch this later, after tomorrow when they upload it, you can pause and start and fast forward, and all of those things are really, really helpful when you are doing this at your own pace. So take advantage of that. And while you're there, make sure that you're checking out all of the other awesome projects that are available, not just from me, but from all of the other amazing creators who have put together these awesome classes for Michaels. All right, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We need to do 5 more of these, okay? And I'm going to kind of speed up a little bit now. Not by much, but I am going to speed up some, and I may not talk through all of this as we go. So again, that's what makes the watching this later when you're doing the project really beneficial, because if you need to hear again all of the steps, you can rewind and go back. Some people are asking about the 22 gauge wire. We are using that, just not for this. So that's coming up later in the project. We're using 18 gauge wire for our core wires that we are weaving over, and we are using 24 gauge wire for the weaving itself. And normally, just to give you a little insider information about wire weaving and me personally, I normally don't use 24 gauge wire for wire weaving. I usually like 26 gauge the best. However, because of the nature of this project, where the spokes are going to be kind of just hanging out there all by themselves, I needed a wire that had a little bit more structure, and the 26 gauge wire just wasn't quite sturdy enough for those sun spokes to maintain their shape. So 24 gauge wire is what we're using for the weaving. Yes, the 22 gauge wire we will be using, just not yet. Not yet. You got to remember, there's more to this project than what we're doing right here. So we will get there. I promise. I promise. That 22 gauge wire is actually going to be the core of the wire going around our bead. All right. Bringing the wire to me between, oop. I shouldn't have started talking about it, because now I confused myself between wire 1 and 2, so I can go up 2 and 3. Okay, to the bottom, so that I can go up 1 and 2. Okay, and then we're going to wrap around wire number 1. Yeah, definitely don't try to do this with 22 gauge wire. Now that I've had a chance to think about it, I hope that you're not out there trying to do this weave with 22 gauge wire. I promise you will never do wire weaving again. You'll be like, that was awful. I'm never do. No. The 22 gauge is for something else. All right, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's do 3 more. Okay. And then we're going to get on with the rest of this project. Oh goodness. Up 1 and 2. Round wire number 2. Up 2 and 3. Whoops. Up 2 and 3. Around wire number 3. Up 3 and 4. Around wire number 4. Up 4 and 5. And coming down the back. Okay. Bring the wire to you between 2 and 3. So you can go up 3 and 4. Bring the wire to you between 1 and 2. So you can go up 2 and 3. Bring the wire to you out the bottom so you can go up 1 and 2. Squish that all over. And then wrap around wire number 1. Okay. Let's do 2 more. And I'm going to do these pretty quickly. So hopefully some of you will really enjoy this project and will decide that wire weaving is something that you want to further explore. There are quite a few really cool wire weaving projects available on the Michael's YouTube channel, so definitely want to check those out. Okay, we're going to do one more and then we are ready to move on to actually turning this into a pendant. So up 1 and 2, round wire number 2. Oops. Up 2 and 3, around wire number 3. Up 3 and 4, around wire number 4. Up 4 and 5, coming down the back. Okay. Bring the wire to you between 2 and 3 to go up 3 and 4. Whoops. Okay. Bring the wire to you between 1 and 2 to go up 2 and 3. Bring the wire to you, go up 1 and 2. And then you're going to finish this off with those wire wraps. All right, now once you have gotten these wire wraps done, we're going to trim off our excess wire at the end, and then we're going to go back and trim off our anchor wire where we started. Before we do that though, I am going to bring in the pliers, really just kind of tidying up. Now, I do want to point out, this will make a really beautiful bangle bracelet, make a really cool ring. There's so many things you can do with this weave, right? So just know that you've learned a technique here that you can use in multiple different ways. So it doesn't just have to be what we're doing. All right, so we're going to trim off the excess. And then we're going to come down here where we started. We're going to trim off the excess here as well. I'm going to kind of unwind it a little bit. Okay, now we are going to take these wires out. And you got to be careful doing this. Now the first ones are going to slide out pretty easily. So wire number 5, that's going to slide out pretty quick and easy. The next one, there's a little more tension there, but it's still going to come out pretty easy. But now the next 3, it's a little bit more of a challenge. So if you can't use your fingers, use your pliers to pull these wires out. Oh, it's definitely, but the cool thing is that look, I still have nice pieces of of 18 gauge wire left over that I can use for something else, right? So these scraps can be used for other things because nothing happens to them. They're still just nice straight pieces of wire. So sit those to the side, use them again. I have like a little I have a little place where I put those kinds of wires and use them over and over again. So all right, this is what you've got. You've got just this funny little shaped weave that's nice and free and kind of springy, right? Just don't squish it too much. Now we're going to use that 22 gauge wire that we talked about. So you're going to bring in that 22 gauge wire and you're going to need about 10 inches of 22 gauge wire. So let me get a good amount of that. Okay. And I'm using silver. You can use gold. Totally up to you. Okay. All right. So sitting this to the side for a second, we are going to create a wrapped loop on the end of our 22 gauge wire. I'm going to lift you up just a little bit so I can have a little bit more room to get my tools in here. Okay. So we are going to come down on this wire about 2 inches because we need enough wire to make several wire wraps. Okay. So we're going to bend the wire. We're going to come in with our round nose pliers, grab that wire. We're going to go up and over, rotate, take the wire over to the other side. And then we are going to wire wrap about 6 times. So basically we're creating an eye pin with a wrapped loop that's got 6 wire wraps. Okay, so that's about 6. All right, we're going to come in with our cutter tool. We're going to trim off the excess. Okay, now we are going to thread on our bead. Okay, all right. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take this wire and I'm going to bend it to the back. Okay, and then I'm actually going to take this up the back of the bead. I'm going to bring it to the front. I've accidentally twisted my wire wrap around there. Okay, bring it to the front. Bring it to the front of that wire wrap. Wrap around that wire wrap. And then back out the front again. So your wire is now coming out here to the left. The reason that we do this is because when we go to put the weave around this bead, having this wire running up the back keeps the bead from spinning around inside those wire spokes, right? If this wasn't secure, there's nothing to stop this bead from spinning around and around inside the circle. So having the wire come up the back is going to make that bead stay exactly where you want it to stay. Okay, so you wrap around and then wrap out, making sure that your wrapping is going to the left. Okay, so it's coming around back out the front. Okay, now we are going to take our little wire weave. Make sure, this is why I told you about the front and the back. Make sure that the front is facing you. Okay, and you are going to very gently take this 22 gauge wire. You are going to thread your weave onto that 22 gauge wire. So basically you're just filling in that space where an 18 gauge wire on the bottom used to be. Right? Just like that. Okay, bring that up next to the edge of your bead. Okay, now you're going to take that 22 gauge wire and you're going to guide that around the outside edge of your bead. And go slow. You know, there's no rush here. We're not trying to run a race. If you need to take it and kind of reshape it a little bit, that's okay. So you want that wire to sit as close as possible to the bead. Okay. And then you're going to bring that wire up in front of the wire wraps, wrap around, back out the front. And then I'm going to actually just cover up the wire wraps that I already did a couple of times. And you can see, like, why is there a big open space? I'm going to show you here in just a second, because this will expand. That springy part of it, we're really going to use that to our advantage. So trim off. And then just going to kind of wiggle it around a little bit. And it will fill in all that space. And you've got yourself a cute little sunburst, right? Now all you need to do is just add a jump ring, some chain, or, you know, if you wanted to use some more of those beautiful beads from that bead strand to create an entire necklace with, you absolutely can do that. I'm just going to add mine to some chain because I think it's pretty all by itself. And there you go. Really, really pretty. This would make really cute earrings too. So, you know, I mentioned using maybe the smaller beads from the strand to make some matching earrings. If you wanted to, you could. Now, the difference with these beads is that these don't have nearly as wide of an edge. It's still doable, but, you know, it doesn't have, can see the edge is just a little bit different. It's more like rounded, where this one has more of kind of a flat surface, but still doable. So if you wanted to do this on a smaller scale to make some matching earrings, you absolutely could do that. But all right, there you go, guys. There's our newly created little pendant. And this, again, I mentioned this is one of these things that you can use in so many different ways, because before we pulled the wire out, we had done a whole section of wire weave that you could use for a bangle bracelet. You could use for part of a necklace. You could use to make a beautiful wire woven ring. So you can take all of the things that we've done and use them in other ways. Which I think makes these projects so much fun, because it really kind of gives you a jumping off point to creating some other really wonderful things. All right, I'm going to turn you around, show you what this one looks like hanging, and then we will say our goodbyes. I appreciate you guys so, so much. Get you turned around here, and we'll hang this on the necklace bust so you can see it. And again, I think this would be beautiful if you did an entire necklace around it, you know, if you wanted to bead an entire necklace around it, but it does look just really cool all by itself. It's definitely different for sure, right? You could pick any color wire you wanted to use. You could pick a different color bead, anything you wanted to create a really fun project. So it almost looks like little Christmas trees. So you could do this for Christmas if you wanted to as well. Just saying. All right, everybody, thank you so much. I appreciate you as always. Thanks for letting me be a part of your beady journey. I hope that you have enjoyed today's project, and don't forget to come back and rewatch this one after they upload it tomorrow, so you can fast forward and get straight to the project and stop and start as many times as you need to. And while you're there, be sure you're checking out all of the other amazing projects from all of the other creators that have given their time graciously to Michaels to create these awesome classes. So, all right, guys, thank you. I will be with you again soon for another fun project. In the meantime, have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.